Teyana Taylor just spilled the divorce tea on The Breakfast Club. She had to pay her ex-husband, Iman Shumpert, $70,000 for violating their divorce agreement. And instead of being mad about it, she's calling it the best little coin I've ever spent in my life. She said, "I sent that wire so effing fast," and explained why paying $70,000 was worth every penny for her peace of mind. But y'all, this story has layers. We're talking about vocal cord surgery, new love with Aaron Pierre, strategic timing of negative press, and why Teyana says she has proof that Iman was paying people to leak stories. Let me break down exactly what this $70,000 payment was for, because the details are important. In March 2025, Teyana went on Instagram Live to defend herself against rumors that she had taken Iman for everything in their divorce. She was tired of people saying she financially destroyed him when that wasn't true. But here's the problem. Their 2024 divorce settlement included a gag order that prohibited both of them from speaking publicly about the case. When Teyana went live to defend herself, Iman's lawyers claimed she violated this court-imposed confidentiality agreement. Iman filed a contempt of court motion against her, and a Georgia judge sided with him on August 5, 2025, finding Teyana in violation of the final judgment and decree of divorce, and is in willful contempt. She was ordered to pay $70,000 to cover Iman's legal fees for having to take her back to court. Now here's what makes this interesting. Teyana revealed that this negative press about her allegedly taking Iman for everything came out right when positive things were happening in her career. "Every single time something amazing is going on in my life, it's something about this divorce," she explained. "We went to court July 25th. This thing about me paying him $70,000 or his lawyer $70,000 came out a week before my album drop. The timing was suspicious as hell, and Teyana believes it was strategic. She claims the negative stories were timed to coincide with her romantic photos with actor Aaron Pierre going viral, suggesting Iman was using their divorce drama to promote his own music career." When Jess Hilarious on The Breakfast Club said it seemed like you had to pay a $70,000 bill for defending yourself, Teyana's response was iconic, and it was the best little coin I've ever spent. Charlemagne the God was shook and said, "Damn," but Teyana doubled down, explaining her reasoning. "If it's gonna give me my peace and we can be done with this for good, I sent that wire so fast. I sent that wire so FTCK and fast." She called it the best little coin I ever spent in her life, noting that she'll never have to deal with this again. For Teyana, $70,000 was a small price to pay to close what she described as a stressful chapter in her life and move on completely. But let's keep it real. Teyana can afford to have this attitude because she walked away from the divorce with serious money. According to the settlement details that leaked earlier this year, she received 4 luxury homes worth over $10 million, a 7-figure lump sum payment, a $300,000 Maybach, a $70,000 Mercedes Sprinter, a tour bus, and full ownership of all her businesses. Plus, Iman has to pay her $8,000 a month in child support for their 2 daughters and cover their private school tuition. So when you're sitting on a multi-million-dollar settlement, $70,000 feels like pocket change for peace of mind. Teyana made it clear that despite rumors, she was fair in the divorce. "I walked away with what I came in with. Iman walked away with all his cars. I walked away with all my cars. Iman walked away with all his properties. I walked away with all my properties." She pushed back against narratives that she took advantage of him financially. Here's where Teyana really spilled the tea. And honey, if what she's saying is true, this is some calculated, strategic drama. Teyana claims she has proof that Iman and his team were orchestrating negative publicity about her. In her March Instagram Live that got her in trouble, Teyana declared, "I have the proof that you're paying people to post this stuff." She believes these leaks were strategically timed to damage her reputation whenever good things were happening in her career. The pattern became too obvious to ignore. Every time Teyana had a movie announcement, career milestone, or positive personal development, suddenly there would be fresh divorce drama hitting the headlines. And this had been going on for a long time. Their divorce was actually finalized 2 years ago, much longer than the public realized. According to Teyana, the divorce proceedings only became public when Iman filed a motion using their full legal names on Thanksgiving Day. She alleged in court documents that she had her attorney contact Iman's team, asking him to stop or curtail the public dissemination of information. But Teyana claims Iman would pretend that he had no idea how the stories about the divorce case leaked. The timing of these leaks coinciding with her career wins and new relationship photos going viral seemed too convenient to be coincidental. What really pushed Teyana over the edge was when the negative stories started affecting how she was being perceived publicly, especially since she has a daughter who has access to social media. It's hitting differently because it's assumed that I moved on. Yo, she took this person for everything. Now I'm being called out my name. Now let's talk about what actually ended their marriage, because it wasn't infidelity like many people assumed. When Teyana first announced their separation, she made it clear. In all fairness, Iman and I are separated and have been for a while. To be 1000% clear, infidelity ain't one of the reasons for our departure. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, the real issues were much deeper and more painful. Teyana alleged that Iman was unsupportive of her career success and actually resented her for working. She claimed he displayed extreme narcissistic behavior throughout the majority of their marriage and treated her cruelly. The documents revealed that Iman was allegedly threatened by Teyana's success and couldn't handle her being the primary breadwinner. This kind of dynamic can be toxic in a relationship, especially when one partner's career is taking off while the other's is winding down. Teyana mentioned that Iman would become verbally and emotionally abusive about her success, which ultimately led her to file for divorce 3 different times before it finally stuck. That tells you how hard she tried to make the marriage work despite the issues. For his part, Iman denied these allegations and requested that the divorce reason be changed to an irretrievable broken bond, asserting that Teyana failed to prove any mistreatment. He also tried to have the tables turned, seeking to have Teyana jailed for 20 days and fined $1,000 for allegedly using crude and inflammatory racial insults in front of their daughters. But despite all the drama and court battles, Teyana emphasized that they remain the best of friends, great business partners, and are one hell of a team when it comes to co-parenting our 2 beautiful children. Let's talk about her new relationship, because this is where the story gets beautiful. She's found love again with actor Aaron Pierre, and the way she describes their connection is so different from what she experienced in her marriage. Teyana spoke about feeling safe for the first time in years and described their connection as gentle and warm. She emphasized how differently she feels being handled with care rather than constantly defending herself. This is significant because it shows the contrast between her marriage with Iman, where she felt like she was constantly under attack or having to prove herself, versus this new relationship where she feels protected and supported. The relationship developed unexpectedly, as both were healing from their own experiences, learning to love without armor or guards up. After years of what sounds like emotional warfare in her marriage, Teyana is experiencing what healthy love actually feels like. What's interesting is that the photos of her and Aaron going viral seem to trigger another round of divorce drama hitting the headlines. It's almost like whenever she shows happiness or success, someone tries to drag her back into negativity. But she is choosing to focus on her healing and her future rather than getting dragged back into the past. She's in therapy, she's creating music that represents her journey, and she's allowing herself to be loved properly for the first time in years. This story is really about so much more than a $70,000 payment. It's about the cost of peace, the value of moving on, and how sometimes you have to pay to protect your sanity. Teyana's willingness to pay $70,000 just to end this chapter shows how exhausting the ongoing drama had become. When you're constantly dealing with negative press, court battles, and having to defend yourself against lies, sometimes the cost of ending it is worth whatever they're asking. It also highlights the gender dynamics of divorce, especially when the woman is the higher earner. She faced narratives about her taking Iman for everything, when the reality is she was actually generous in the settlement and walked away with what she came in with. The strategic timing of negative stories, whenever she had career wins or personal happiness, suggests a pattern of trying to control or punish her for moving on. That's emotional manipulation, and she recognized it for what it was. By paying the $70,000 and publicly stating it was the best money she ever spent, she is sending a clear message. Her peace is priceless, and she won't be held hostage by ongoing drama. This is also a masterclass in choosing your battles. She could have fought the contempt charge, spent more money on lawyers, and dragged this out for months or years. Instead, she paid the fine, walked away, and focused on her healing and her future. Y'all, this $70,000 piece payment is honestly iconic energy. The fact that she's calling it the best money she ever spent shows that she values her mental health and happiness over being right or winning every battle. After everything she's been through, the alleged emotional abuse, the career resentment, the strategic media manipulation, and the health scares, she deserves to find peace and love. And if $70,000 is what it costs to close that chapter forever, then good for her for having the resources and the wisdom to make that choice. What I love about her Breakfast Club interview is how authentic and unapologetic she was. She's not playing victim, she's not bitter, and she's not letting the drama define her story. She paid her fine, shared her truth, and moved on to focus on her healing, her music, and her new relationship. The fact that she went through vocal cord surgery while dealing with all this personal drama and still managed to create a visual album about her journey is incredibly inspiring. Teyana is showing us what it looks like to transform pain into art and choose healing over staying stuck in toxic cycles. Now, I want to hear from y'all. Do you think she was right to pay the $70,000 for peace, or should she have fought it? What do you think about her claims that Iman was strategically leaking negative stories? And are you here for her new relationship with Aaron Pierre? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I love hearing your perspectives on these celebrity relationship dynamics. And if you want more content about celebrity divorces, relationship healing, and choosing peace over drama, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Hit that like button if Teyana's best money I ever spent energy resonated with you. Share it with someone who needs to hear about choosing peace over being right, and I'll see you in the next one.